Hey everybody, how you doing out there in internet land? YouTubers, Facebookers, wherever you may be viewing this video at the time that I'm shooting it. My name is Greg Napier, and I'm coming to you from my home office here in Columbus, Ohio. And I want to share something with you that most Americans are not aware of or didn't even know that they needed to have it. And I'll just be transparent and say, hey, I was one of those Americans that did not know that you needed to have it and wasn't prepared to have it. And that is an emergency fund. Do you have an emergency fund? So I went out on Google and did some research and found out that 40% of Americans don't even have a minimum of $400 to $500 in the event of an emergency. That was mind blowing to me because before I found out this information that I'm sharing with you, that'll be down in the description, I didn't have an emergency fund and I didn't even understand the importance of having one, other than I remember when I was a kid, my mom said, you need to save money for a rainy day. Now, I had some money put away, but I wasn't actually funding it. There's a difference in putting a certain amount of money away and just sitting it there. Then there's another thing where you're actually funding the emergency fund, meaning you're constantly putting money into that fund each and every week, every 2 weeks, every month, just depending on how you want to fund your emergency fund. There's one thing to have one, there's another thing not to have one, then there's one thing to fund it. When I found out that the 40% of Americans did not have one, didn't even know about it, I started doing a survey, finding out that a lot of people didn't even understand the significance of having an emergency fund. So I got an explanation of why you need to have in some bullet points down inside the description. As you complete watching this, go down and read the information. It will be mind blowing for you to find out that so many people just don't understand the importance of having it. Now, my wife and I, instead of us looking at it as an emergency, we just look at it as a temporary inconvenience because we have a substantial emergency fund. We understand the process of funding that emergency fund. And I'll have some information down again in the description to where you can go over if you want to learn more about how to get you an emergency fund, which you definitely need one because the statistics say 40% of Americans don't have it. It's not if an emergency is going to happen, it's when it happens. They're going to happen. You're going to have a busted tire, your refrigerator may go out, you may need another stove, you may need to go you may need to go to a funeral in another city or state and you don't have the money. Do not let things of that nature slow you down and cause you not to be able to fund that emergency. Once you get this information, you'll be able to treat your emergency just like a temporary inconvenience. Because they're going to happen. Busted tire again, as I said. You may need some additional money to do some things that you didn't think that you were capable of getting done. And so you may be like I was doing before I understood it, is I had a credit card that was designated for an emergency, but that's not a real true emergency fund. And I will explain that to you in the description. And you owe it to yourself to click the link below so you can find out how not only did I'm establishing an emergency fund, but I'm actually getting residual income. That's for another video for another time to learn the importance of residual income because you have residual bills. So on top of having an emergency fund, you need to be establishing yourself, getting some residual income. And I can show you exactly how to do that. It's a step-by-step process. You didn't get in this situation overnight. You're not going to get out of it overnight. So you just have to take small baby steps so you can eat off that. Like the saying goes, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So until we see each other again, Greg Napier signing off from my home office here in Columbus, Ohio. God bless you, and I look forward to chatting with you very soon.